Hello, and welcome to the Rock Metal Podcast. I am your host, John Harris, and today on Rock Metal Podcast, we have Ashes of Redemption. They have a new EP called Washed in Blood, WIB, released on August 7th. Right now I'm being joined by Justin to share some more information about this stellar release. I guess what happens after things are washed in blood, maybe what the process is a little bit, and then what he's got going on. So Justin, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for making some good music.
Hey, I'm glad you considered that.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is you wouldn't be on the show if I didn't think it was good stuff, and well, here you are. Now, you mentioned it's a one-man band, but the interesting thing is that when I go to the Bandcamp page, it looks like you've got some people performing a few different things on the record. So take us through what you've got going on here. Yeah,
so those are just those are all their performances. So I just basically produced it, and those guys are studio musicians who kind of, made it come to life. So I wanted to just make sure that they were acknowledged on the Bandcamp page.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Now, I guess my question is, why work with studio musicians? Did you think that they could do a better job, or what happened?
I've been doing that kind of, I've been going about it that way for a while. It just seems so much easier. So to get the initial concept out, I just find it much easier to just, if I have a bunch of songs, just to have them performed, professionally, and to get that out there. And then, if it gains traction, then, of course I can collaborate with other people. But initially, there's such a growing period when you get together with other people trying to form a band to make music. You go through all sorts of different things, personalities, whatever else. I just find this the most streamlined way to knock it out.
You mentioned every single reason why I haven't started a band in the last 15 years, Justin.
Yeah, it's pretty horrible.
To say the least. Cool. All right. But you're doing it anyway, and I dig it. And as you mentioned in the pre-roll a little bit, that you're looking to gain some traction so that it eventually can become a live thing. So I guess maybe, Do you have a 5-year plan? Take us through your journey.
So the music is kind of written for a live performance, if that makes sense. I mean, the songs are what they are, but they're kind of, as I'm writing it and as I'm thinking about it, I'm kind of trying to set it up I'm picturing the live performances and how it would, best be received in that circumstance. So, the 5-year plan, I have an album worth of songs written. I have been talking to a few different people here locally that want to possibly, start putting something together to get some traction on the ground. Because if you're not out there playing, I mean, everybody is putting stuff out now on the internet. It's just instantly buried. So I think in order to get any recognition, it's definitely got to be played live. And so that's kind of what I'm working on now. And while I'm in that process, I'm also getting the next batch of songs kind of tweaked out.
Okay, very cool. So many awesome questions that can arise from that, such as live shows. How is that going where you're at? Is that a thing? Is that happening?
Yep. So yeah, it's going. There's not many venues, and there's the scene overall. And I have some people in different states that I talk to and stuff, and they tell me the same thing. The scene's, it's pretty dead. So I think now would be a good time to get out and, just play some of that. I kind of consider it older, 90s kind of groove, heavy metal stuff that just people like to go out, see. You can just catch the groove real quick, have a good time, get in the mosh pit, and that's it. So the scene's okay. It's a little dead, and there's only a couple of venues right now. So I don't even know, to be honest, like where, what venue would be best for this type of music.
Okay. Well, everything you're saying makes sense. You're not alone. It's all around the world right now. So I was just curious how things are going, where you're at. And the other thing you mentioned was writing for a live performance, which, I wonder how many times bands actually think about that. How is their music going to be received? I always recommend testing songs on a live crowd, which is obviously not probably the most feasible thing for the last, 18 months. So
right.
I guess the question is, how did you gauge the receptivity of the songs while you were working on them?
I didn't really. Well, I had I ship off the demos too, like when I'm halfway through a song, like my close buddies, and they'll give me like, some feedback and things like that. But I just, it's just what I would consider, obviously, what I think would work in that setting.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Which you mentioned mosh pits. You got to get people moving. You mentioned groove again, bodies moving.
Yeah. That's the big thing. It's just like, I want just to get people back out, interacting, we do have outdoor venues that are, some big names are coming through again. Actually the Megadeth tour just stopped by where I'm at. So, that's about it. I just some good old fashioned mosh.
I just saw the quote, with the hopes of achieving a suffocating mosh pit in your parents' living room.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can't take yourself too seriously, right? Yeah. I mean, it's the songs I think are solid. I was really happy with the production. I liked how it came out. We'll see if we can make something of it. But if just a group of dudes enjoy trash in the living room to it, that's cool too.
Well, one of the things you mentioned about the production of it was we have Kevin, is it Carafa?
I believe so.
Cool. How did he get involved? Because as far as understanding is you're in Michigan and he's in Oregon. So let's talk about this.
Yeah, so the internet is an awesome thing. When you are shopping, musicians and stuff, there's plenty of websites where they register and they have a lot of examples of their work. And so through those websites, I just kind of went through, talked to some people, see if we were on the same page. And, obviously like budget's a concern. And if everything worked out, then that's who I went with. And I didn't, once I went with somebody, I don't believe I ever switched. Like whatever performance they gave me is what I used. I didn't scrap it and go try to find somebody else. I just went with what they had or what they did. So he's out of Oregon, and that guy just cranks out mixes after mixes. And so he's like super fast, really just tightens everything up, gets the levels all, radio friendly. And, he's like super, affordable.
Yeah. Very cool stuff. Yeah, I'm guessing for anybody listening in who's like, okay, you mentioned a website where you found a mix engineer. I'm looking for a mix engineer. Do you mind sharing where you found him? Was it like a Fiverr thing?
Yeah. Yep. So, so Air Gigs and Fiverr, between those two, you can find whatever you want. You can find, acoustic drummers, guys that'll play it on the electric kit, guys that'll actually write the MIDI for you. And it's all very reasonably priced. So it's not like, you'd be out thousands of dollars to get it done. You can do, as long as you play, like I did, you play guitar and you have some equipment at home, you can knock out EPs, no problem, for under $1,000.
Wow.
So it's cool because it gives you the opportunity to test stuff and to hear it from other people. Like if you're not the best, like whatever guitar player or whatever, you can have somebody play it for you, and they can reamp your stuff for you too if you don't like the tone that you're getting at wherever you're at. And it's just an easier way to get your vision out without paying studio time, and you still get a really good final product.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, returning back to that final product, this EP, Were you looking to package something in particular, like a theme to the record? Is it a concept by any chance?
There's no concept to it. It's all pretty dark lyrically.
It does say rotten by design. So
yeah, it's it's that's just kind of the genre of music that we're into, and but no, I don't. There's no reoccurring theme.
Okay, and I'm also seeing. Sorry.
No concept.
No concept. Yeah, I was wondering if I'm supposed to read the EP in order, like rotten by design, then washed in blood, and completely unscathed, or something.
If you were supposed to do what?
If I was supposed to read the titles in order, so rotten by design, washed in blood but unscathed, or something like that.
Yeah, that's the 4. So yeah, it is. Track 1 is rotten, 2 is by design, 3 is washed in blood, and 4 is unscathed.
Cool. How come Washed in Blood got the title for the EP? Is that your favorite song?
No. That actually was something that I didn't even write the lyrics for. I just thought that it fit nicely.
Very cool. Okay. Also, as well, I noticed you did releases through DistroKid. You mentioned you're looking to do live performances. Are you shopping out to record labels as well?
No, not really. I think I sent one demo out, and I can't even remember. Actually, I have sent a few out. But again, it's very difficult. So many people are trying to get, and I'm just looking. Really, what I would want out of record label is just basically like a bigger footprint, so that as I'm trying to recruit people to play, they're like, oh, okay, well this guy's legit because he's with so and so. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Easier. Instead of you going to a band setting and they're like, yeah, we like your songs, but we want to do, you know what I mean? It's like they want to do their own sound, which is fine. I mean, it's probably going to be great. If you already have the recognition, you have a little bit more pull.
Very true. Very true, Justin. Okay. If it's okay, I can get you in touch with a record label I have in mind.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Cool. At first, it sounded like you weren't interested in a record label, but then it sounds like you are. Obviously, you're not going to be flying around in a private jet because it's not 1984 anymore. So
right.
I always like to say that up front. Some musicians still don't know what year it is, so I usually just say that up front. But basically what they'll do if you guys decide to work with each other is work out some kind of an investment level and some kind of level of service, mostly where you feel you need to fill in your gaps.
Yeah, that's probably what I need.
Yeah. Cool. Sweet. We chatted about one-man bands, but hiring guns for help and thrashing like hell in your parents' living room in a suffocating mosh pit. We chatted about live performances and writing for live performances. We chatted about grabbing those people off of Fiverr and air gigs, which I've never even heard of that I now know of. Air gigs. This is cool.
Yep.
Especially because recently somebody said, do you know anybody? We need somebody to play the piano for us on a track. Do you know anybody? Well, now I'm starting to reach out to people that I know at random, but also as well, there's an internet database, right?
Yeah, huge.
Cool. Very cool stuff. We chatted about Washed in Blood EP out August 7th, available wherever it is that you consume music. If you listen to, or if you look down in today's show notes, rather, you can see ashesofredemption.bandcamp.com. You can listen to the EP there. You can listen anywhere else you like to consume music. All of Justin's links are also going to be there as well. Justin, is there anything I missed that you wanted to chat about?
No, I think you nailed it. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming on to the Thrash Metal Podcast today, the Rock Metal Podcast.
You got it. Thanks, man.